All right, and we are back. I was testing out the audio. This is going to be my first video. It's going to be kind of unedited, and we're going to be talking about AI primarily. So I got to get used to a few things. I don't really talk into the microphone like that too often. So forgive me for weird noises that you might hear from my chair, my dog. I know my headphones are busted, so getting that out the way first. All right, so I'm sharing my screen and I'm going to move this over to the side. Let's see. Okay. So, uh, where I last left off, I was looking into model training, meaning how to train AIs. Um, I do have a local model that is, I think, is a Llama 3 model that I have running locally. I think I said local too many times. So, um, I was looking into how do you train the AI, right? Like, what do you do? What does it mean to train an AI? So, uh, I'm just giving you kind of a rough draft on what I look for and some videos that I stumbled upon. Let me see, were any of these helpful? Were any of these helpful? Okay, so how to fine tune LLM with Olama. So I think I did a large part of this video already, so it didn't really completely interest me. Um, Meaning
Reason why finding the right data.
there was a large part of the video that I've kind of already did. I've already done. So but I I'm gonna see if we can watch the video. I don't know about putting a video in video, like how that works yet. Um, I don't know. So, bear with me, but I'm gonna play a little bit of the video. I'm gonna kind of skip through because pretty much I'm gonna kind of skip through the bottom. Maybe that's useful. So, first thing, I think she's using llama, right? Then the first thing she goes to is grabbing data sets. So the idea is you're gonna need data to train this model. You're gonna be grabbing probably a bigger model from one of the big, you know, IT companies, tech companies, Fang, what have you, right? You're gonna grab the data from a source. There's a lot of sources that you can find. In this video, I mean, you could type the title into the video, or I can link it. Uh, you can get a link to data to try to train the model, right? And what does training the model actually look like? That's where it kind of varies because uh, just kind of going
I
down
need
on
a
the tech
GPU,
stack.
so I'm
Let's
going to be
see.
fine-tuning this on my machine using Ubuntu. If you don't have a GPU, feel free to do this using Google Colab, which allows.
So she's doing it locally on the GPU. I'm actually not doing that with my local model, and I'm actually not training it. I just downloaded it. So this is where the variations kind of begin with training the local model. Um, so with training the model, you're going to need a lot of processing power, and that's where GPUs come into place. Me, I have a 3080 Ti. Um, I think she's using a 4090 in this case to train the model. So um, when it comes to training this model, you're going to see, if you follow something like this, you're going to see that there's a lot of installs. There's going to be a lot of tools that you're going to have to install. There's going to be developer tools. And then using those developer tools, you're going to have to download um, pretty much libraries and code bases that are going to extend your local capabilities and your ability to bridge across and control parts of the LLM. She's using GitHub and installing it on a local version of Linux in order to make that happen. Um, I thought about doing this project, but it kind of interests me. But my thinking is, I'm going to look at some more training models first, me personally, because I kind of have an idea of what I want to do already. And so I should have probably started off like that too. So some of the ideas that I'm thinking about using it for is one, creating a e-commerce website. A lot of people create e-commerce websites. I've used Hyde and Jekyll in the past, and that is a form of the programming language escapes me right now. But it's a part of Python, and it's a certain segment of Python, and it's a tool that you can install to create um, websites for content management very quickly. Um, so I'm thinking about making something like that, but specifically for sales and e-commerce. So um, that's one of the ways I'm going to utilize AI is to build out products, whether it's digital or physical products and goods uh, and services. So another thing that I'm going to be using AI for is I've been looking into gaming and specifically how to train the model to game for you. But of course, it'd be like local games. I'm not talking about like online games. I know there's like a market for that. But usually that gets you banned. It usually gets the terms and conditions. So if you're looking for that, probably not gonna find it on this channel because that's just not something that I'm into. Breaking terms and conditions, at least lawsuits, and that's a waste of my time. But good luck to you, right? So, and then another thing is I'm a very big um, extended reality idealist, I would say, for the lack of a better term. So, meaning um, I'm probably going to be using this to build out tools. And I do have an idea of something a project that I want to build, just kind of in general. And then another idea is to build out a model to help with video editing. But I'm going to do it in a particular way, probably something that you won't see usually on day to day workflows. So really tooling, I should say. So specialized tooling to kind of help with workflows. I'm not sure if I'm gonna edit these videos or not. I'm leaning towards no. That way you can kind of get the unfiltered version. All right, so back to fine tuning the model. Um, Installing dependencies on Ubuntu. So kind of building out the model, a lot of pip installs. So it's like installing all the packages kind of for you. I see some Anaconda in there, so a certain version of Python. Then I think this Google Collab, I've been looking into that, and it's a certain tool to help train the model. And I've been looking. There's different workflows, but from what I understand, you have to pay for the tool. Meaning, like if you're training it for photos and things like that, and you're training on specific data sets, I've seen it as high as like $60 to train a model for photos and some of the videos that I've come across, and that's cool, right? Like I mean, it saves you from buying a graphics card. That's one of the highlights that someone else talked about on this video. Maybe I'll link that in the chat as well if I can find it. And then it just allows you to run the model on a local level without the necessary GPU power, right? So you're borrowing the GPU power of said company and then running that tool to help train that model. right? So that's something that's pretty big that's going on, and it looks like she's using that idea here to help train the model. I did watch this whole video, but I don't know how the copy work right works, and this is just kind of going down the the idea of training the model, and yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end that part right now. So ideally, um, I am looking into different forms of using the AI model. Um, hopefully, right, so this is another one that I've come across. The AI systems create long form YouTube videos hourly using NAN, no code automation tutorial. This is something else that you're going to have to pay for, from my understanding, when you use this tool NAN. Um, so this gentleman, I'll give the first site. So Warp was the first site, and I'm not sure if that's the company. I didn't hit the link. I never watched any of the other videos. Um, but that was the first channel. Then this channel, Robo Nuggets, is talking about creating long form video creator content automatically for you. To I, this person is making more like philosophical videos, it looks like, and then they're using kind of like different archetypes to create the story, which is amazing. I have this kind of I've seen videos like this floating across the web, and there's some shorts, YouTube shorts, and I'm going to be honest. I want to use it in a way um, that's a little bit more organic to me, and that is not going to get me banned, if that makes sense. Because I can see this kind of being abused, and then maybe new language coming from YouTube on kind of how this kind of content is used, and kind of going from there. Now, I mean, Google's a big AI company, so at the same time, they probably will be selling services in the future, if they don't already have something like that. I'm not aware to kind of do this, but this person is creating uh, these videos, and this is kind of the whole workflow of how they're making the videos, and then they got input, and then basically I think this is like the executable workflow. Um, he had it more in layman's terms. So, and then, well, I'll go back to this part is the output, the final output. So, oh, here it is. He has it at the top. So, get the music intro video, generate the full video, and then handle errors. So, he has a 16 part kind of 16-step ideation, and I would say a workflow to get the output for these videos out. And then I think the way he has it is generated from ChatGPT, the actual ideas of the video, and then he goes about using this tool in a in to actually create the video, which is amazing, right? And then I think if we can
This
listen to
lesson.
some audio.
Find
Turn this
stillness
down a little
amid
bit.
storms, always.
You do come
There you
across
have it. The
videos like
visuals, the
this.
audio, the transitions between scenes, and publishing of this long form YouTube video has all been handled by that AI automation system that we just showed. And what's great
It's funny those transitions because I mean, you do when you edit videos. You can put those keyframes in there to zoom in and out and stuff. But it's funny watching the like it being automated, and kind of essentially in a robotic type of way instead of organic. But it's interesting how people are using the tool. So yeah, so that's kind of some of the ideas that I'm working with right now, and So I said all that to say. Now we're gonna talk about um, how I source ideas, right? And you can source ideas with AI, right? Some workflows that I've come across now is one of them is Google LLM. I haven't paid for it, but I hear great things. And then there's another one. I don't know where I put my phone, but I think it's called Prosperity. I'm not sure my phone is, but there's another app, and I'll link it. Um, but I think it's like $20 to even try it out. But matter of fact, I can find the idea. I know I have it somewhere here because it's primarily focused on research. So let's see. Perplexity. I was way off. Perplexity looks really good for research, but I think it's $20 a month for the monthly subscription. I don't know about the yearly, but from what I can tell, using a combination between Notebook LLM and Perplexity probably would really help your workflow. I have access to the enterprise versions, I would say, from my work, and so I'll be using it kind of there. That I can't show, but I will be able to use that and come back with kind of a better idea, and we'll talk about that later. Just the ideation of the research, and then putting those ideas together using LLM. So, um, and I guess AI would be another general term. So, um, we talked about this for maybe like 20 minutes now, and so let's just see what I search for, like what I do, and kind of the way that I go about looking at this information. Now, I have like a series of videos, and I'm just kind of scheming through them, seeing something for code. Now, some of these YouTubers, I've never watched their videos before, so I couldn't really tell you. But this is kind of looking like something that I'm talking about. So let's give them a chance.
Like me, spend way too much time on X, you might have come across quite a lot of posts that try to convince you that you can build amazing workflows or
I'm sorry, but I have to watch this fast. I'm sorry if that's annoying. Um, but yeah.
AI agents that can automate your entire life. At least that's how it feels sometimes to me. And you might see those screenshots of complex N8N workflows. And by the way, N8N is an amazing tool. There is a reason why I cover it in a huge update I released for my generative AI and ChatGPT course.
He
And by
says
the way, N8N
something.
is an amazing tool.
Oh, he's talking about NAN. We just talked about
There
that.
is a reason why I cover it in a huge update I released for my generative AI and ChatGPT course. And there I show you how you can build workflows that use AI and how you can build AI agents that use tools and RAG and CAG workflows with N8N, but also with code. That's all.
So that's actually what we were just talking about. I'm glad I actually watched this video for the 43 seconds that I did watch it. So because we're talking about creating a chat agent. And that seems to be the overall theme of kind of where we're at right now. I've even talked to some of my colleagues relatively recently, within the last week, and a lot of them are building out these agents in different ways. So one of them has several projects, um, all focusing on the agents, and I've seen this deployed for really for psychology, for therapy, for behavioral sciences. So that idea of the chat agent and NAN, and specifically how it came up twice within one day of searching, um, and so this kind of leads to a broader idea that I'm having, and so you're kind of seeing how my brain is working here. generative. I'm going to mess this up. I can tell because I just did it like twice. So the idea of being able to generate things with AI, specifically when it comes to virtual environments, really excites me. I think I've seen some recent developments on Gemini specifically on generating. Um, I'm just gonna say content. That way you'll get the base of the idea, uh, just from prompts, right? And I mean we've seen this with like Midjourney and those other like kind of like AI tools for creators. I've made something recently. I guess this is a good way to show it. Let me see. Grab a little folder here. I generated this relatively recently using one of those AI video generators. Yeah, Clean AI is the one that I use. I did pay for it. I think it was like $10. I can't remember. Maybe a bit less than that. I do have some more kind of videos kind of going over this, but you see where I'm getting at here. Um, you know, I just think this looks kind of cool. And this was sparked by I saw AI video, and I have this real love for futuristic cyberpunk type of feels. If you don't know, I'm a big VR AR person, XR. So, Snow Crash. I watched the Ready Player One again last week. It sparked some ideas. It sparked this specific idea, and I'm gonna watch the one with Ryan Reynolds. I can't. I'll have to look that up. This is He has like a gaming type movie. Let me see. I can't remember the name. Free Guy. When that film came out, someone had pointed out something very specific in that movie that we don't often talk about. And it might, and I'm going to watch it over again because I was told this like a long time ago, like 4 years ago. Um, but the thing is, this idea still might not be like completely being used. Mainstream wise, because like form follows function, right? Like these ideas they come out, but we're not actually able to implement them for years and years and years. So I'm gonna rewatch that because rewatching Ready Player One kind of resparked something in me. But yeah, so kind of rambling, kind of going all over the place. Um, but you're seeing how my mind is working here. So we have AI, we have offline LLMs, we have training the models, we have using the models for content creation, or using AI tools or AI agents for content generation, creation, um, as a new tool, building tools. So you kind of see where I'm getting at here on the channel. I'm gonna let his
Here, and you
video
got
play a
for
little
example,
bit
for example, an in-depth guide on prompt
longer.
engineering, how to run open large language models locally on your system. I also got a separate course on that if you want to dive even deeper. But I will also be honest here. I personally haven't found the use case for building that one super AI agent that puts entire aspects of my life on autopilot. And it's not just a use case. I mean, there are things I'd rather not do in my life. AI just is not capable enough for that. I can't build such an agent yet. It's also not.
So I'm glad you touched on that. Super AI agent, or maybe he's kind of getting that AGI. Are we there yet? I'm gonna give you my personal take on it. I was in VR, AR. I keep saying that, but XR extended reality is how I'll refer to it. Hopefully, but I'm painting the picture so that I mean the like Oculus headsets, the Valve Index, what have you. I started that journey in like 2013. I think that was it's like 12 years ago. And actually, I started even before that on the DK1, I believe it was called. So like the developer um, kit that they sent out. I had someone that I knew they were making 3D models. They were also building accessories for that kit, and then they were building tooling specifically for 3D modeling. So I've been looking at this journey kind of for a while, playing around with AI, playing around with computer vision, even going to like I guess classes for the lack of a better term for like Google Firebase around like 2013, 2014, and the kind of prompt engineering that we're seeing today. I remember a decade ago using that to build out like applications, specifically for Google Firebase, building out Android applications. And I saw someone live building it out, and I was blown away then. So it's kind of so I've been seeing this kind of steady rise, and I'm gonna call it a hype train for a lack of a better term, because like in VR, it's kind of well known, or maybe it's not well known, but in my circle, which is XR enthusiasts, we talk about the idea of complete immersion where there's a foveated rendering eye tracking, meaning that the artificial intelligence knows where you're looking and then rendering the graphics to where it perceives that you're going to look at to save GPU and CPU and processing power. And so that idea it's here, right? And has been built out into more headsets. And then on top of that, we have we have the resolution, but someone put it into a better term, pixels per degree. And the pixels per degree is increasing in number, um, meaning the technology overall is getting better, and what we can do with it, and then in terms that like how realistic things look. I have people in the field that are using like the Vario headsets for training. I know some people. I've used that headset before, and so I kind of see it. And we're talking like we're talking like 6, 7 years ago, right? So the things that we're doing and using the technology for right now is still being worked on and worked through. So ideally, we're in a space that is still growing, right? It's still growing, and it's still developing. It's still evolving, and because of that, the timelines that people give, because people frequently they refer to the what is it called? They refer to a certain timeline, and it's eluding me right now. It's a curve, but I can't think. Is it Ferdinand? No, no. My brain is fried right now. Is it bell curve? I think it's Moore's law. I'm way off. It just came to me. Shout out to Moore's Law is dead. Because he has that YouTube channel talking about GPUs, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, so yeah, so Moore's law is what we're referring to here. So Moore's law is the observation that the number of transistors in an integrated circuit doubles about every 2 years. So uh, I think using Moore's law today is a mistake, because I think things take longer than they appear and then shorter than we realize. Meaning, I think we have all these predictions on timelines 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I think it's more important than that. I think humans have absolutely no idea where certain ideas are going to take us. Some are going to be a lot faster than others, but I don't think in the ways that we conceptualize to each other. So, would AGI be in the forefront 10 years from now, 15 years from now? I think that's something that we're still determining. I think the number one problem is trust. We live in a trustless society, so building out these trusted AGI systems is going to be very difficult, if not downright not impossible, but it's going to this is fundamentally changing the very fabric of the foundation of humanity. So the way that we think about complexities and the way that we build for those complexities. So yeah, so I think hold on. All right. I think I'm gonna end the video on that note. I was getting into Moore's law with the semiconductors, but I mean the thing about that, uh, I need more information on the topic, so I just won't comment at this time. But we're moving to a new form factor. We're seeing the glasses being pushed. Google Glass announced, say Google Glass, Google XR department announced the new headset last week. Um, so we'll have to see how the public kind of takes this new. I can't even call it advancement, right? Because we've had different headsets. The difference is the form factor and the overall impact of the company is very very huge in general. So we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. There's privacy concerns, but I've had a talk with people, and I mean I'm under the camp that people just don't care anymore, especially in America. There's other countries that care more about data privacy, but you know I'm gonna say I watched an interview with some of the founders of Docker recently. They talked about that people actually would like APIs to do the work for them and open APIs, and then also being able to use those APIs across the board, meaning your favorite places that you shop at, your favorite stores, what have you, would actually have all the information that they possibly could about you that you, I guess, would leave in public or some form of data that they can access. about you, right? Maybe your shopping habits. That way, they can draw up either a service. Um, I guess it would be service related for you specifically. Using their AI systems or using that API. So we say that we want privacy, but really it's kind of we wish that we can trust in these institutions enough to not make you the product and then market to you, from a handful of elite companies that have your data to then share to third parties to sell to you. Um, so cutting out kind of the middleman approach. So I say all that to say, you know, I haven't watched the latest episodes of Black Mirror, uh, and I might not even because there's something about the collective conscious when it comes to the content that we watch, and there's something about like I'm not a fan of cyberpunk. I said that earlier. Like I like cyberpunk. I like the look of it, like the look of the cities, the futuristic look. I don't like the grunge, the almost punk feel, the consolidation of power into the elite tech global giants. Like, yeah, that part right there. That's why I like the solar punk, right? Like I feel like we were heading towards that, but I'm getting philosophical and borderline. You know what? So anyway, um, I mean, I could read more about Moore's law, um, Wikipedia. I know some science teachers or as computer science teachers are probably, you know, maybe that finger at me for it. But the thing is that for tech, I think Wikipedia is decent. For like history and stuff like that, no, it's a gray area, right? Because since you can see who edited um, recently, so I mean, you know what? Let's use AI. Claude. I think I spelled that right, but gate all around and transistors and chiplet designs. Specialized computing. There's a bit of a shift towards application specific chips optimized for AI, quantum computing, and other specialized workload. Quantum computing. I don't know if y'all have run some of the quantum computers that public has access to. Um, but like I think running like qubits and I've, have you seen those? Like those are computer free. Let's see. I never seen it as such. meaning like what a code layout. Someone said it doesn't work in the first comment, so yeah, let's do IBM. Probably have to sign in. A second. I really don't know my login for this. Take a wild guess real quick. No. I thought that worked, but I would have to reset my password. All right. Let's see if we can get some images instead. None of these look right. Look it up. Sign in. Do your
No
thing.
code.
Oh, that's another thing. No code app development. I'm actually curious about this one because a few weeks ago, one of my coworkers referred to it as vibe coding, and I had not heard it referred to as vibe coding. I did a little bit using Windsurf, and I tried to make one of those. It's really like an asset manager type of app, and I failed. Not miserably, like the app ran the authentication, you could log in, um, and I was building out different forms. I mean, I was different building out different features for the asset manager, but here's where the problem lies. So the AI for um, Windsurf was like, "Hey, would you like to add this new feature?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead, you do your thing, do your thing, AI." And it has this thing where it prompts you like a lot to make sure like you're a human running it, and I'm sure there's ways around that, but so you have to put like yes, I want this, yes, confirm, right, over and over again. So I was just confirming a lot. So I was thinking the more I confirmed that, the better the app would be. Uh, the better the app would be, and that wasn't the case because it broke the app. It was running fine, and then all of a sudden it stopped running. And I haven't. I kind of quit. I kind of quit. So I think I'm gonna try again for vibe coding right now. I've tried in the past. It's still like it's not a hard no, but it's like get the general idea, layout, cool, and then after that, build out the most that you can feasibly. Um, and then I had this thing where I was using maybe like five different AIs, and then some of the even the offline models, and loaded them and using the different LLMs, and then having the problem and the errors, and then using each one of them to try to decipher exactly what was wrong with the app. And I think I went down the rabbit hole for like 7 hours trying to get this thing up and running again. And the feature that it added, it was for tagging assets, Unity and Unreal assets, and it added this piece of code. I can't remember the name at the moment, but as soon as it added that piece of code, the app just broke, like completely. So whatever the tagging system was called, um, let me see. I'm gonna see if it can tell me the last 10 prompts I asked. Oops, I forgot the D. Oh, doesn't have access. Allegedly. Alright, so I think it was for Bolt. I think it was for Bolt. And now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't Bolt. It was something else. But anyway, yeah, so vibe coding is a thing. Um, oh wow. You only have 100 prompt credits. I did not know that. You know, I didn't run into that. I prompted a lot, like a lot. So it's really good for what it is, and I'm sure um, there's other ones. Bulk built, right? So I built the idea out in bulk, and then I tried to finish it out in windsurf with a video that I got that from a video that I watched. So let's go back to this. So new materials, silicon alternatives like gallium nitride and silicon carbide are becoming more prevalent, especially for power applications. Integration innovations, advanced packaging techniques like TSMC's, CoWoS, chip on wafer on substrate are enabling heterogeneous integration of different chip components. As of early 2025, leading edge manufacturing, I don't have my glasses, guys, so sorry, is a 2 to 3 nanometer nodes from TSMC and Samsung, with the 2 nanometer processes in development. However, the industry has increasingly moved away from nanometer measurements as meaningful technical specifications. The economic benefits of Moore's law's decreasing cost per transistor have also slowed throughout computing, though computing power continues to advance through architectural innovations and specialized designs. Yeah, so is there a new law to help understand where are? Specifically, I'm about to butcher this. Specifically, specifically about XR. Spatial computing. Yes, there are several proposed frameworks for better capture where we are with XR and spatial computing rather than traditional Moore's law. The most relevant ones is Metcalfe's law for spatial computing. I've heard of a few of these. Second one is Jensen. That's funny. NVIDIA CEO. I just kind of want to see Metcalfe's law for spatial computing. Sometimes my browser just does not work. But that's hilarious. I think that's where we are today. I don't think we're gonna get that answer. Maybe if I pull it up over here, maybe I have too many tabs open too. All right, I'm not able to get that answer, but I'm going to highlight that pretty much this whole entire. Not sure why. The hell. All right. I was gonna ask it why can't I paste it, but I think it's something with ASCII code. But anyway, all right. So we'll get back into that Metcalfe's law. That's actually a great place to conclude. All right. So we see I'm all over the place, right? We talked about everything under the sun with this video. Not really. but kind of what this channel is going to be about, my thought processes, how I'm looking into these technologies, a little bit about my experience, my day to day rests in ambiguousness, cloud computing. More specifically, I use a lot of APIs. I solve a lot of problems. Let's put it like that. So, um, right. So I have been in the tech space for quite some time. Trying to do a little bit of math. I started. Uh, I'll just say high school for the lack of a better way about. So about 2005. So I guess about 20 years in tech, kind of all together. I started kind of really after high school. So let's say 15 years of real tech experience from supporting, from selling tech to kind of being where I am now, doing network engineering, doing systems administration, doing a lot of XR, VR work, you know, going to conferences, going to meetups, and being very involved in the Houston tech scene for quite some time. Built a lot of friendships, working on a lot of projects, doing some game jams, doing my own development, and then doing some development course for work. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, kind of in a nutshell. I am reskilling. Um, I am learning more about AI, just kind of in general, kind of where we're at, looking at some of the limitations, and hopefully it'll be some help to you. I think I'll be more kind of hands-on with the next project. I'll probably start. I'll probably work out the project some and get to a point where I'll just kind of redo it, and then show you kind of the idea. And I'm not quite sure exactly how. I might replace the sandbox environment on my computer. That way, I can kind of erase it and then kind of start back over. But really, I didn't want to install Jupyter and all the Pythons, and I didn't want to do that level today to start on my first video, just because it's very involved and it's like reading a technical book takes forever, right? So like actually getting the actual setup for development takes a while. Uh, so that's something that AI can help with, right? You said creating that development environment to get people up and running like quickly. I think that's something that companies that kind of falls in line with the tooling, but that they focus on like heavily is because it's very needed, right? Like, I mean, you get the pips and it kind of, it runs the scripts to get things installed for you. Um, a little bit of input, but that needs some work, and then version control as well. Um, but kind of, I mean, you can prompt just about everything. So a lot of companies use offline LLMs just in general, to help out with the day to days. I'm using it like a lot. So I would also say having like a very good idea of how to use um, like database tools, Excel, what have you, will aid a lot. I'm not necessarily a big data science person. I thought about doing that, but I have some kind of I have my own reasons for not wanting to specifically do data science because there's a problem with I don't want to call it data integrity, but like the actual collection of data and it being useful, scalable data, um, and then being able to in turn create either, something internally that's useful. Um, right, it's questionable, right? So there's some automation that's needed because sometimes you have a lot of problems, just kind of in general, and then especially you have like a lot of new products, so kind of rolling out automation to kind of like fix current problems is always a good idea if you have a full understanding of the problem. So that's it. I'm Marcus. This is my first video. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Hit that like, subscribe. Um, it's kind of just a long format video, unedited, just, you know, trying to build something, trying to make something useful. Again, we're talking about LLM, I've talked about XR, talked about problems, talking about some of the problems that I'm going to be solving. Those things might evolve, they might change. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions, drop down in the comments below. Leave a comment. If you're using AI for certain things, drop a comment. Maybe something sparked inside of you. I will be looking at the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm not gonna say it took like a ton of effort to make this video, but this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And yeah, I could talk about tech for quite a long time. There was a point there that where I was just kind of burnt out. I'm not going to lie, but I think um, I think something sparked some renewed interest. So, all right, guys, peace.